Saturday night has never been this jam-packed. We're talking Saturday night's main event and 8 long hours of AEW All In Texas. Let's break it down right here in Alyx's World. Hello all and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm your host, Alyx, just Alyx. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is your, double discussion, double review, double talk, AEW All In Texas. And, check this out, we'll also be talking about Saturday night's main event, July 12th, 2025, the retirement of Goldberg. But before we get to Goldberg, the big news that everyone wants to discuss, and it's unfortunate because it is bad news. I was hoping, like you all, that it was a work. When Seth Rollins had his match with LA Knight, and he went down after landing on his feet from a moonsault, he literally collapsed. There was a big pause in the match. Referee was talking to him. He gets up, boom, eats LA Knight's finisher, blunt force trauma, and then he wins. LA Knight beats Seth Rollins, and like you, I said, all right, well, that looked kind of staged, almost too clean. Is he setting up for something? Are we going to give Goldberg the belt and then have Seth cash in as a surprise? Right? Because, to me, an injury like that, it just kind of feels like if it was what we thought it was, if it was real, they would have done a lot more to protect Seth, right? They would have done a lot more to hide behind it. Like when Liv Morgan got injured with Kairi Sane not that long ago. You see her go down, she grabs her arm, and then we don't see her at all. We don't see her at all. They just take her off screen, and then they end the match, right? They kept the camera on Seth Rollins the entire time. And so, you're trained to believe this is part of the show. This is all part of the show. He threw the match so he can set up for his cash-in later. That's what my mind said. Well, there was no cash-in. And we find out, literally after the show, the injury is legit. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Seth Rollins did get hurt. And unfortunately, he is going to miss time. I don't know what happened. I think, literally, he tweaked his knee landing from a moonsault. Now, some people think it was more than that. Maybe there were some other things during the match that might have hurt him. And then him landing on his feet is what did, like, the final crack or, like, the final damage to take him out permanently. But, you know, we always go back to that 2015 injury where his leg buckled under him going for a, like, it was coming off the top rope. He was doing a sunset powerbomb, right? And then he landed on his leg, and it literally snapped when he landed. And so Seth has had, my goodness, years of leg problems. He almost missed WrestleMania 37 because he had a match against Triple H. He almost missed that match due to leg injuries, due to a knee injury. So, I mean, it's commonplace. Seth's getting up there, man. And it's the same leg. It's the same leg. It's not a different leg. It's the same leg he injured in 2015, same one in 2017. And we all thought, hey, it looks like everything is good. And WrestleMania 33. Thank you. Not 37. I'm getting my WrestleManias mixed up. WrestleMania 33 in 2017. That's where the 7 came from. The WrestleMania that I was thinking of happened with a 7 in it. It was 2017, but WrestleMania 33. Right. 37 was against Cesaro, right? or Claudio Castagnoli. Thank you for correcting me on that. But regardless, it happens, guys. Freak injuries, freak accidents like this happen all the time, and it sucks that it happened this close to SummerSlam. Because I have a distinct feeling Seth Rollins was involved in a feud with, well, not just CM Punk, but also Roman Reigns going into SummerSlam. So this just throws the entire thing out of whack. Oh, man, that sucks. The more I think about it, this is going to screw up a ton of storylines. A ton of storylines. And they was just getting this going. So, it's unfortunate. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But it looks like Seth is going to miss time. We don't know the extent of the injury. If he's lucky, and it's a tweak, like a minor tweak in his knee, he's only out for a couple of months. He's going to miss SummerSlam, but he'll be back later on this year. If it's anything, and I mean anything like his 2015 injury, we ain't seeing him until WrestleMania. WrestleMania 42. If that. And that sucks. You hate to see that, man. So let's hope he has a speedy recovery.
Hopefully, Seth will recover and be okay. AEW was strong, NXT was solid, main event was EHHH. Hopefully no more 3 PPVS to be petty because wrestlers are getting hurt. SMH, I feel Evolution will be good.
Yeah, the oversaturation of shows this close together, that was always going to be an issue. And this is why we don't do it. But even then, let's just be real. Freak accidents are freak accidents are going to happen. There's nothing we can do to avoid them. You just have to work around them. So let's just hope and pray that Seth Rollins is able to recover and just work with it, man. You know.
Not only that, but what happens with the MITB briefcase? If it's major, we're looking at months on the shelf.
Well, luckily, and this is what I am going to say, if it's just a couple of months, he can keep the briefcase. He can keep the briefcase. Even if he's missing it up to WrestleMania, he can still keep the briefcase. The briefcase I'm not worried about. Because we don't know the extent of the injury. If it's just a couple of months, they'll just keep the briefcase on him. They'll have Braun and Bronson lead the group with Paul Heyman while Seth recovers. If anything else, they could still keep Seth on TV, but he just won't wrestle. We don't know the extent of the injury. The only thing that's going to suck is the fact that CM Punk is and Roman Reigns, I'm assuming Roman Reigns, would set up with a program to fight Seth. So we're going to have to see.
Sucks for Seth, hope he's okay. And Goldberg v Gunther was solid. Man, when Goldberg no-sold the chops, not gonna lie, I got hyped a little.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that. We'll quickly go over my preliminary thoughts on Saturday night's main event before we get to the actual discussion, the breakdown of the show. But just to kind of wrap up my thoughts here when it comes to Seth, yeah, that's just unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate because, and I'm going to say it like this. It is unfortunate. Sorry about the live chat. I had to fix that really quickly. I think it's working now. Can you guys see the live chat on the actual screen now? I don't know why it wasn't there before. I think when you open up Streamlabs and it gives you the front page, sometimes they change the link or the browser for the live chat, and so I have to go in and replace it. It's annoying as hell, but let me know if you see it on the screen, because it wasn't there before. Yeah, they can still have Seth on TV, depending on the severity of the injury. It's just that if he had a program with CM Punk and or Roman Reigns for SummerSlam, that's done. That is now off the table. And they'll have to find a different thing for them to do, which honestly could just be Punk, Roman versus Braun and Bronson, which isn't as exciting, but we'll see. We'll have to find a way to make that work. So let's just hope things turn out okay when it comes to Seth, and the injury isn't as bad as we're fearing it is. If he simply tweaked it, cool. Give him a couple months off. He'll miss SummerSlam, but just push everything back. Everything they wanted to do with CM Punk and or Roman Reigns, push it to Survivor Series. It is what it is. It happens. If he's injured, and we're looking at least 3 months away, at most 6 months, that's gonna suck. That's gonna be so goddamn devastating. Especially this close to SummerSlam. So, I'll keep you guys updated on that if any more news comes out. Goldberg! Let's talk about Goldberg and Gunther. That match was a lot better than we thought it was going to be, right? That match had no business being that good. People completely underestimate how good Goldberg is inside the ring. He is a good storyteller when he needs to be. If he's not just going in there and squashing you in 10 seconds, he will tell a good story with you. I still remember his match with DDP, Halloween Havoc 1998. My favorite Goldberg match. He sold his ass off for DDP in that match. Really made me believe DDP could have beat him. I'm serious. Now, his match with Kevin Nash at Starrcade wasn't as great. We're not going to talk about that. You know, he's had his stinkers. But when Goldberg really needs to make his match look good, he's been known to have great matches. His matches with Brock Lesnar. Both his matches with Brock Lesnar, yes, they were short as fuck. I don't give a damn. Those were two of my favorite matches he's had ever. You don't need to go 30, 45 minutes, AEW, to have a classic match. You can have a classic match in 5 minutes. I'm just saying. 1 second, guys. We have a troll in the chat. And I believe this was handled by New Japan Pro Wrestling Girl. Thank you. But no, you don't need to have a 20-minute, 25, 30-plus minute match in order to get 5 stars. People underestimate how good Goldberg was as an in-ring performer. And I'm happy in his final match, people got to see, wait, this guy was actually pretty good. When Goldberg took that first chop from Gunther and no-sold it, I popped. Listen, I did the ho-ho in my room. Echoed off these walls here. I loved it. It was a great moment. Little things like that is what made Goldberg. It's what makes Goldberg a legend. Just little things like that. So, I'm happy that people got a chance. They got to be reminded. One last chance to see what kind of a legend he is. He is a legend. Goldberg is the real deal. He is one of the greatest of all time. I don't care what anyone has to say. And I'm happy that he got this match to show that. And he put over Gunther so goddamn well. Because, believe it or not, there was like a few minutes during this match where I was like, are they going to give Goldberg the belt? I can't be the only one when watching the match that went, all right, they actually might be giving Goldberg the belt here and Seth is going to come in and cash in. Right? That's what I thought. And then, of course, Gunther kicked out of the jackhammer and then hooked in the sleeper, and that was game. So, let's just be real. Our first prediction wasn't going to be any different. We all suspected that Goldberg was not going to win, and he didn't. But I did enjoy the fact that they created moments that got me to buy in. Because I didn't think that was going to be possible. Goldberg hasn't been very good at making me buy in the last 10 or 5 years. I'm just being honest. Since his matches with Brock, I haven't been buying into Goldberg winning any matches, even when he did win. I'm like, what? When he beat The Fiend? Why? You know what I mean? But this time around, I was invested. I was on the edge of my seat. And there was a part of me that was like, you know what? Maybe he should win. But it went down exactly how we thought it would. And it was fine. I hate the fact that they cut him off. They cut him off before he could have his retirement speech. They gave him a minute. You don't give a legend like him a minute. And here's the thing. Okay, it gets cut off on NBC. You let that shit play on Peacock. See, this is what I will say. When it comes to Peacock, no commercials. When I'm watching on Peacock, I don't want any interruptions. I want it unedited. I want the full thing. Now, the NBC, fine. That's NBC. That's another network. Do what you gotta do with NBC. Peacock should be separate. Peacock should be uninterrupted. All the way through. It should be another pay-per-view. Another PLE, excuse me. You know what I mean? That should be separate. I should get it uninterrupted. No ads. And then anything extra, let it play. That should be the perk of having a Peacock subscription. That's what I feel. I should be rewarded for giving you the extra money on the side. Now, the people who are watching you for free, 100% ads, cut it off. I still think it's screwed up that you cut it off. You couldn't give them an extra 5 minutes. Whatever. But it's NBC. They have time constraints. They have other things to show. I get it, right? I get that. Peacock, though, don't you dare cut a goddamn thing off. I should be getting everything. If I'm paying you $15, that means no ads. I shouldn't be seeing any fucking ads on any of these goddamn shows. Otherwise, why am I giving you this money for no ads? I don't get that. Yes, WWE, you gotta make your money. You gotta pay your bills. We get it. Me giving you the extra money at the same time, they don't own Peacock. This isn't the WWE network. I get that. Still, the fact that I'm paying extra dollars for no ads, I should rightfully get no ads. And so Goldberg's speech being cut off, that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool. They can post the full speech on YouTube. I don't give a damn. I should have seen that full speech before he, of course, retired. But that's just how I feel. But in terms of the rest of the show, the only thing noteworthy was Bianca returning and being announced as the special guest referee for Jade Cargill and Naomi. It's happening tomorrow. It's going down. I'm yelling timber. She's turning heel tomorrow. She's turning heel on Jade Cargill tomorrow. I'm calling it now. I know she's turning heel. I can't wait for it. I can't wait. Oh, it's going to be so good. All right, so we'll get into the rest of Saturday Night's main event in just a second. Let me go ahead and get into just my quick thoughts on All In Texas. And let me just say it like this. AEW, come to the front. AEW, come to the front real quick. 8 hours. 8 hours. Now, the actual show was 6 hours. Yeah, I know. Excuse me. Oh my God, that's not that big of a deal. 6 hours? But in total, if you include the pre-show, which was 2 hours, we're talking 8 hours. Tony, why is your shows getting longer? Why are your shows getting longer? Longer doesn't equal better. We've been complaining about the length of your shows, honestly, since you started this company. We've been telling you, your shows are too long. Dial it back a little bit. Part of the reason WWE has a leg up over you is because their shows don't go no 8 fucking hours. At best, 4. That's too long for me anyways. That's still too long. But tops 4. Most of the time, because it's only 5 matches, 3 and a half hours. 2.5 if we're lucky. You will never see Triple H put on an 8-hour show. We got mad at Vince McMahon for giving us a 5-hour WrestleMania. And here comes Tony doing 6 hours, 8 if you include the pre-show. Less is more. Seriously.
8 hours is nuts. WM35 levels of timing.
For real. And the thing is, the show had a lot of great matches. Awesome matches. Fantastic, even. And I feel like if they were to have found a way to structure the show better, take some matches out, lessen some of them that went a little too long for me. The men's Casino Gauntlet match, that went way too long. The women's Casino Gauntlet match was perfect. The timing of that match, in and out, enough women got in there. It didn't overstay its welcome. And the winner, love Athena. I love Athena winning that match. So, if they would have done the women's Casino Gauntlet match the way they did the men's match, Jesus Christ, it probably would have been more than 6 hours. But listen, I'm trying to be fair with AEW here. Despite the length of these pay-per-views, this might have been, I think is, their best show all year. And this is the kind of show that reminds me of the AEW of old. When I would come up here and tell you, their weekly shows might not be good, but their pay-per-views are bangers. They always deliver on pay-per-views. This felt like one of those shows that old school. They've only been around for 6 years. Like the old AEW used to do. This felt like OG AEW. In all the best ways. Hangman Page is once again the AEW World Championship. I love that they brought back his original theme song. And they really rehashed the entire Texas Death Match from Revolution 2023. It was the same match with a couple of changed beats here and there. The spots they had, yeah, it was beat for beat the same match. Outside of interferences from the Death Riders and other stuff too. Ooh. You're kidding me.
Traditions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the king has returned. Nickname Mai, your tribal chief, is in the building. Acknowledge him. Where is Three Diglets at? Three Diglets, please show up. Hold on. I believe in Three Diglets. Say his name and he appears. Will he show up? I don't know. Welcome back, Nickname Mai. We missed you. But yeah, like, first off, if you're back, then the show really must have been good. That's how you know the show was dope, if Nickname Mai showed back up. Yeah, it really did make me feel like AEW finally found that feeling that they were looking for. And I've been giving them a hard time. Bruh, Nickname Mai, listen, I'm glad you haven't been watching that much. You probably have. But I've been giving them a hard time. Just a couple of weeks ago, maybe a little bit further than that, I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this show. But then they picked it up over the last few weeks, and I said, you know what, $50, I can spare $50. Let me just tune into it. And yeah, I loved what they did with, sorry, I had to go back. The TNT Championship match, because I forgot who was in it. It was Daniel Garcia, I know Kyle Fletcher, Sammy Guevara, thank you. So, Dustin Rhodes, Daniel Garcia, Kyle Fletcher, Sammy Guevara. Adam Cole got hurt. Adam Cole, unfortunately, got injured, I think, on some episode of Collision. I don't watch Collision. And they said his health issues are so bad that he might have to call it a career. Now, he didn't say that. It wasn't a retirement. But let's just say this is very similar to when Kenny got hit with diverticulitis. They're worried that he might not be able to wrestle again. It's that serious. We can only pray. We can only pray. So he had to vacate the TNT title, and they held an impromptu Fatal 4-Way. And they gave the belt to Dustin Rhodes. That was awesome. I'm happy they did that. I didn't think they would, but I'm glad they did. And it got the right reaction from the crowd. In Texas, because he is born from Texas. Him and Dustin, everybody. Dusty Rhodes, Dustin, Cody, they're all... Well, I don't know if Cody was born in Texas. I think Cody's Atlanta. But the Rose family, Texas. So that was awesome. I'm happy they did that. That was the right call. Yes, I know Kyle Fletcher is the awesome favorite. Kyle can win it on Dynamite. Just do the TNT Championship match, Dustin Rhodes versus Kyle Fletcher. He can win it on Dynamite. I don't care. For the moment, here, I'm glad they gave Dustin a championship when it comes to AEW. Yes, he's won Ring of Honor titles. I don't give a fuck about Ring of Honor. I'm glad he won an AEW championship. That makes me very happy. I'm glad he won that. I was very surprised to see Athena win the women's Casino Gauntlet. I in my head, I convinced myself that it was going to be Megan Bayne. I don't know why. I really wanted it to be Athena. I predicted Athena, but in my head, I'm like, it's going to be Megan Bayne. When Athena won, you have no idea how happy that made me. Because I said, finally, they're moving her up. This means they're moving her up, y'all. She's getting moved up. Fuck Ring of Honor. She's been the best female wrestler on this roster since she got there. And they just kept her stuck on Ring of Honor. They're moving her up now. And she's competing for the women's world title. Thank God. But not just that. Oh my God, the super chats tonight. I love it.
Went through a really hard time, Toda. Why couldn't watch much of the show, but the moments I saw were great. But I can't miss out on the yearly tradition of All In.
Nickname my dude, the fact that you're here says a lot. Because once again, like, I'll be honest with you, I haven't been a big fan of AEW, and these streams haven't been doing well, but I think because this is tradition, this is All In, but also the show was very well done, despite the length. I hate that it was 6 hours. I really do. 8 hours in total. A lot of good things really took us back to OG AEW. But yeah, Athena winning made me happy. We gotta give credit where credit is due, man. That women's championship match was amazing. I am floored that Mercedes Moné did not win. Tony, why didn't you pull the trigger, man? He should have pulled the trigger. I still think, just me, we can agree or disagree. I still believe that Mercedes should have won this match. I think it would have made fans angry, but I think it would have been so compelling to see. It would have been such a compelling moment to see Mercedes Moné win all the belts but hold 7 belts. Yes, she still has all the other 5, 6 belts. She didn't lose any of them. But it would have been nice to still get that visual. Honestly, I kind of figured she was going to lose when she picked up the belt and held it up. I was like, ooh, I don't like that. That's kind of spoiling it. If she had never touched the women's title, then I would have been convinced that she was going to win. But the moment during the match where she picked up the belt and held it up, I said, that's kind of giving it away. That means she's not going to win. But she didn't. Toni Storm beat her. And it took how many Storm Zeros? What, 5? Because she hit one, Mercedes kicked out, and then she hit 3 consecutive ones. Mercedes kicked out again, and then went off the top rope. An avalanche Storm Zero, so 5. I got it right. So there you go. All you people out there saying, Mercedes Hogan. Mercedes Hogan. Oh my gosh, she books herself to win. Shut the fuck up. Now shut up. Okay? Of all matches to lose, if she had creative control like y'all say she does, this would have been the one she won. Trust me. But some of you get creative freedom and creative control mixed up. And yes, even though Mercedes does have creative control, I guarantee you, she would have decided to do this exact same thing. She would have said, no, let me put over Tony. Let me establish her as a legit women's champ. And then I'll win the belt later. Because she is that selfless. Now, I would have been the selfish asshole. If I was Tony Khan, I would have told her, you're winning the match. And then we'll send you on the losing streak. And you can drop all the belts then. Right? Because to me, it's like, why would I have you trip up at the finish line? You get me? Why would I have you trip up at the goddamn finish line? But here's my thing too. I'm not too upset about it because, number one, they could always run it back. Oh, they could always, at any time, run this back. At any time, they can always run this back. But at the same time, to me, I do believe that Mercedes was going to go on a losing streak eventually. You could always go back to her winning the women's title. She's going to win the women's world title eventually. I think now we can begin the downfall. We can start that descent from glory, because that's what she needs to go on. She was going to go on this descent any kind of way. So she's going to lose all her titles. And then when she loses all the titles, we can send her back after the women's world title, and then she'll win it that way. She has to win the women's world title, guys. I'm sorry. She has to win that title. What's the point of having her here if she never wins the women's world title? I would have at least pulled the trigger here so we can just be done with it. That's just me. But, alright, you're just delaying the inevitable. You are delaying the inevitable by having her win it later. But if that's what y'all want to do, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to stop you. So there's that. The main event, listen. When Hangman Page came out to his OG theme song, that tugged at my heartstrings. That made me feel good. That felt like, alright, a return to classic Hangman. The one that made us fall in love with AEW, the cowboy shit talking. What was the name of the group? Dark Order, Lovin'. Oh, I miss those guys. I miss the relationship Hangman had with the Dark Order. That was such a good storyline. That was such a really good storyline. Anyways, it took me back to when Hangman Page was having his run, going after Kenny Omega for the world title, and how invested I was in him. And I remember, like, God, that's when AEW was on fire. That's when they were selling out. Like, how fast did they sell out Arthur Ashe Stadium? They were selling out stadiums. Dagnabbit. They didn't sell out this stadium. 25,000 is still a lot of tickets, by the way. But if they were to have booked this stadium in 2021, oh, I promise you, if they had booked this stadium in 2021, they would have sold it out. They would have sold it out, no doubt. I promise you they would have sold this bitch out. If they had booked this stadium when Hangman Page took on Kenny Omega in Full Gear, this would have sold out. So, I'm happy that Hangman Page got this moment. I still feel like Will Ospreay should have been the guy to win. I still feel like the face of the company is Will Ospreay. But you know what? Hangman Page got his redemption arc. It took him 3 years to get back to the World Championship. Let him have a run with it. MJF is the Casino Battle Royale, Casino Gauntlet match winner, contract holder. I can't call him Mr. Money in the Bank, but he's holding the contract, and he'll probably cash it in before the end of the year. So Hangman Page is not going to hold the belt for too long, because I do see MJF getting that belt again, and then Darby Allin gets the belt off of him. Darby will get the belt off of him, because Darby Allin came back. You know who also came back? Yes! Bryan Danielson came back. I was looking for Sting. When Darby showed up, I'm like, where's Sting? I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad Sting didn't show up, though. I'm glad they kept it to Darby Allin and Bryan Danielson, because that felt right. But, yeah, that main event was fantastic. Okada, Omega was fantastic. No, it wasn't as good as their New Japan Pro Wrestling Classics. Look. We have to remember something, guys. I'm going to make you feel really old. Those Kenny Omega, Okada matches were almost 10 years ago. I'm not joking you. They were literally almost 10 years ago. The first one was 2017, right? That was 8 years ago. Yeah. 8 years ago. These guys are getting up there now. Not saying they still can't have those kind of matches. I still believe there's like one more all-time classic in Omega and Okada. This was more WWE light, AEW American Entertainment styled Okada versus Omega. Still a fantastic match. I'm not going to knock it. But it doesn't come anywhere close to their classics. Yeah, it was almost 10 years ago. But still, like, I thoroughly enjoyed that match. Okada is now the unified continental international champion that we can't call the intercontinental champion because intercontinental is copyrighted by WWE. But he technically is the intercontinental champion because it's the secondary belt, not the top belt. It's the AEW unified title. That's what they're calling it. They're calling it the AEW Unified Championship. Whatever. One last thing I'll talk about. Nick Wayne turned on Christian. Yes, the patriarchy is done. And then Edge. Adam Copeland. Cope made his return. Got inside the ring. Saved Christian from a beatdown. Brought him to his feet. We had like a 5-second pose. No, we had like a quick second of them rekindling that moment of, oh my God, Edge and Christian. And then Copeland said, go find yourself. Go find yourself. And then he walked away. And so begins the reunion story arc. It's happening. It's happening. It's not happening immediately, but it's happening. I love that the heel turn led to Nick Wayne becoming the new patriarch, I suppose. Well, him and Kip Sabian will probably be a tag team, right? So that's a new tag team. And then FTR was right there, and they're like, we had nothing to do with that. So they're back on screen now, although they have been on screen, but not really, because I haven't been watching Collision. So they're back in the forefront of the story. It's looking like we're setting up Edge and Christian to be a tag team again. And I think Edge even said, I keep calling him Edge, Adam, Mr. Cope, even said that this is it. Like, he doesn't plan on continuing his career after these next few years under his contract. Right? Someone just said Intercontinental isn't copyrighted because New Japan Pro Wrestling had it. Well, here's the thing. Didn't they have to get rid of that title? I think the reason why they dropped their Intercontinental Championship is because it got copyrighted. The WWE copyrighted the term Intercontinental. So we'll see. We'll have to look into it. But they're setting up Cope and Christian. Cope and Christian. I don't like that name. Cope and Christian. Cope and Christian. Coping in the cage. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Clearly, Adam Copeland and Christian Cage against FTR and Nick Wayne, Kip Sabian. So, We'll see. We'll see where that goes. They're not going to do it right away. They're going to take their time with it. We most likely won't see them team up until earliest Full Gear, latest next year. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But hey, you guys have been awesome, continuing the conversation in the live chat. We're going to go ahead and move things along here. We got to get to the preliminary stuff. I got to say hello to the people. And then we're going to break down the shows. We're going to start with Saturday night's main event, and then I'll break down 6 of the 8 hours of All In. And then I'll go to you guys. You guys give me your thoughts. You give me your grades, your scores. And of course, you tell me which show did you like better. Did you like All In? Did you see All In? Did you like Saturday night's main event? Did you see Saturday night's main event? No, I did not see NXT. One show had to take a hit. It's going to be NXT. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's bad enough that I have to do Evolution tomorrow. On top of these two, NXT would have killed me. NXT would have killed me. Guys, understand me. 6 hours of AEW All In, and then 2 hours of Saturday night's main event. And then you want me to do 3 hours of NXT, plus 3 hours of Saturday night's, 3 hours of Evolution? I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. Yes, All Out is in Toronto, and they're almost sold out, by the way. I saw the tickets. They're about to sell out Toronto before it even gets announced. If it hasn't been announced already. Because it's Canada. Of course they're going to sell out. Actually, since it's in Toronto, they might do the reunion there. So, we'll see. We'll see. All right. Let's go ahead and move things along, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for making me a part of your day. If this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, your edit help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership, click that join button, and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, a hot topic, or a review, past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks if you would like to donate. After the fact, you can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at Just Alyx Central. Give me a follow on Instagram. Give me a follow on Spotify. Give me a follow on Cameo. Give me a follow on Threads. And follow us on Discord. But also, most importantly, follow me on Blue Sky, where the skies are clearer. And what's that other app? Well, let me let this super chat play while I think about it.
You got your wish, Alyx. Bianca guest ref equals heel turn.
Oh, we're going to talk about it. Oh, yeah, I just remembered. Follow me on TikTok, for I am the tickest of the talkest. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, Venmo. And yes, super chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justalyxsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries just to say hi. Get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Are you a Just Alyx guy? Then join the club. Get you an Just Alyx Guy t-shirt. Hot off the press. Also get you an old school Gillespie t-shirt. Get you a new school Alyx's World t-shirt. And many, many more t-shirt designs coming your way. So stay tuned. Join the cause. Expand the brand today right here. And Alyx's World. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me. I want to thank the partners of this broadcast. Dokkio. Dokkio is here to help you stay organized. It's an AI tool that looks over your emails, that looks over your PDF files, that looks over any kind of files. If you are someone that's having trouble keeping track of what you download, of what you upload, of emails and all that kind of stuff, trust me, you want to use Dokkio because it will help you stay organized with everything you need. So for more information, let's get a quick word from our partners before we get to some shout-outs. This broadcast is partnered by Dokkio. Look, I won't lie to you. I suck at staying organized. I've made so many thumbnails and scripts that I can't even tell you where half of them are anymore. And the worst part, I always realize I need them right in the middle of creating or editing something. I've literally had to recreate entire files from scratch because it was faster than finding the original. And that's where Dokkio comes in. Dokkio is basically an AI personal assistant that finds and collects all your files across multiple platforms, whether it's Google Drive, Dropbox, Gmail, OneDrive, you name it, and it gives you one clean, organized workspace. It doesn't just show you where your files are, it understands what they are and organizes them accordingly. In my case, it's good to have something that organizes my thumbnails, in case I need to go back to reuse them for future broadcasts. So if your digital life is a hot mess like mine, do yourself a favor. Go to trydokkio.com/Alyx. Once you see how fast and easy it is to find your stuff, you won't want to go back. So don't wait. Sign up for Dokkio and get organized today. Thank you all so much for making me a part of your day. Please show your love to the Mod Squad. Ultra! Shiny Nice and Firestar Heart, Alyx, Ademi, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Khalil does everything. Highway, Dylan, Danger, Teflon Don, the Mod Father, Xeno Enigma, and of course Big MGM, because they help keep this a safe space for wrestling fans like you and like us. Is that Leffy? Leffy, where have you been? Please be sure you like the video. The more you like the video, the more opportunities I will be given to be recommended here on YouTube. So help boost that algorithm by hitting that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Things are about to get a lot more interesting. Guess who just showed up? This broadcast is partnered by
Eyes.
It's Le Fiend! Three Diglets, ladies and gentlemen, is in the building. The kid stealing, willing, dealing, son of a gun. Kiss the girls, make them cry. Yeah, I mean, woo! The world champion, Three Diglets, will be defending his belt at SummerSlam, ladies and gentlemen. That being said, now that I got you here, Three Diglets, I wanted to ask you a little something because I've been talking about this with the international champ. Now, me and the Mod Squad have been thinking about updating how often the champs defend their belts. So, the current champ, international champ, Drew Rusher, has agreed after SummerSlam to defend his belt weekly. He wants to defend the belt weekly, as in Friday Night SmackDown, Raw, all that kind of stuff. And we think, since you're the world champ, that you would be happy to defend the belt every PLE, which is once a month, which is what you already do that. Nothing changes. You'll be defending the belt every PLE, essentially, to make things a little bit more interesting. And since Nickname Mai is here to make things fun, I think that would definitely.
Let's assume Seth Rollins is off SummerSlam now. I think WWE should run Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker instead. That would be big. Gunther is currently planned as John Cena's final opponent as of now.
Well, hold on for a minute. Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker sounds dope. Can we talk about that for a minute? Because I didn't even let that cross my mind, but nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
I think Ema pull a Corp CA and defend it once a year. YADDADIMEAN.
Yeah, I mean, nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Come on, be a champ. Be a champ. But yeah, but we're probably gonna update the way we defend these belts after SummerSlam. So you'll be defending it once a month, and then the international champ will be defending it once a week, just to make things a little bit more interesting. Let me get back to this other super chat by Carlos Morenzo. So yeah, Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns. Now that you say it out loud, I'm like, why don't we do that? Why are we gonna do Seth and Roman again? Well, why not? Why not? Yeah, not pay-per-view. PLE. My bad, 3 Diglets. Yeah, don't worry about AEW. Don't worry about that. PLE. So, like, what's the next one after SummerSlam? Is that Clash in Paris? So, that, and then I think that's like a big gap after that. I'm not too sure what's after that, but, if they bring back Bad Blood, sure. Well, hope that makes sense. Yeah, we should totally do Roman Reigns and Braun Breaker at SummerSlam. What do you mean? Like, I love Seth, and him and Roman need to have their match eventually, but that should be a WrestleMania match. Can we be real for a minute? Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins is a WrestleMania match. WrestleMania match. Why are we doing it anytime before then? So, I'm not saying that Seth getting hurt saved him the trouble of having the match early, because I'm never going to say that injuries save anybody. But it does bother me that a match of that gravitas, that magnitude, would be just thrown on SummerSlam. Like, Seth and Roman have over a decade of history. Over a decade. You don't throw that on any other show but WrestleMania. So, if they want to do Braun Breaker versus Roman, come on. Come on, bro. And then you build Braun Breaker up as like the next Brock Lesnar. I would have Braun beat Roman. Now, that's not going to happen. Clearly, Roman would beat Braun, but if it was up to me, Braun's beating Roman. Braun is tearing through Roman. And I'm building Braun up to win the world title. If Seth is going to be out for like 6+ months, I'm building Braun up as my next world champion. Fuck Gunther. No offense, Gunther. That's what I'm doing. So, alright, let me go ahead and say hello to the people here. First off, big shout out to Nickname I. Nickname I, the tribal chief. Acknowledge him. You already know, if he showed up, All In was dope. Anytime AEW has a dope-ass show, Nickname I is right here. Who else we got here, though? We got JJ, who let the dogs out? Who? JJ Bulldog, Carlos Marenzo, Trey Licado, Jordan Williams, Sunset Jaden, Aaron Teagle, YouTube member Dawsey Chatham, good to have you here, sir. I see Dro Davidian. I see Debit money. Debit Money Adams. I see WWE Movie Maker. The Movie Maker is here. I'm seeing a lot of people here. Oh my goodness. Not JPEG. Game Shock. Is that Ronwell Nogales? Ronwell Nogales, good to have you here, my friend. Ronwell, I gotta get you a nickname, my dude. Give me a nickname. Carlene Williams. I do actually like Mercedes losing. It creates an interesting story of how Mercedes won every title, but still couldn't win the win creating. Uh-oh, you deleted it. Why'd you delete it? That was a good comment. But still couldn't win the big one, is what she essentially said. Nothing wrong with that. I agree. It does create a good story. Maybe she's gonna retype it because she probably saw some miswordings in there. It was good enough. I knew what you was trying to say. Who else we got? We got A-Rit, Adam Ritter. I see Kingville 24. You got all these names in here, and it's scattered too. Let me see. Bryce Blackwell, you saw him donate earlier. Let me see. OG Francis. Are you new? Tony Khan is lucky this pay-per-view started at 3 p.m. Eastern. Oh my goodness, look here. Look here. If this show, I swear to God, if this show had started at 7 p.m., I would have fell asleep on it. I would have felt, guys, no. If they had started this at 7 p.m. and it went 6 hours, that means I would be coming up here at 2 a.m. in the morning to review the show. They are lucky They are so lucky they hosted the show earlier. Because ain't nobody coming up here at no 2 a.m. to review their show. All right, we're going to go ahead and move things along. Thank you all so much for being here. It's so good. So good to be back with you guys. I know it's been a while since I've done live streams because I've been taking a break, been doing some uploads, but I love doing these live streams with you guys, and I love interacting with you. So, yeah, let's keep it going, man. Let's keep things moving along. Please give me your scores, give me your grades, give me your donations. And whatever you want to say about the show, I will interact with you as we talk about it. So let's get right to it. Let's do Saturday night's main event, since that was shorter. Although it had a lot of things happen on it. Let's go ahead and just start off with the first match. I believe Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. Solid match. It was basically about what happened at the end. Randy Orton gets the RKO, pins Drew McIntyre, and then Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll got in the face of Logan Paul. So are we doing a Jelly Roll versus Logan Paul match at SummerSlam? That's what that looks like. A celebrity match. Right? Jelly Roll, Logan Paul. I don't hate it. It keeps Logan Paul away from the world title. Because that was my biggest fear. Is that we're going to get Logan Paul versus Jey Uso? Listen here. If they would have done Logan Paul versus Jey Uso, you already know Logan Paul was winning the world title. But I'm glad they didn't. Thank God. So, Logan Paul versus Jelly Roll, all day, every day. I love it. I don't care if Logan Paul wins. He won't. I'm pretty sure Jelly Roll's going to win that match if they do it. Randy Orton will probably end up taking on Drew again because Drew needs an opponent. I don't know why Drew didn't win this match. He lost and then attacked Jelly Roll afterwards. So, okay. I guess we're going to get some version of Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, Randy, Jelly Roll. Either Logan Paul and Jelly Roll have a match and then Randy and Drew, or we do a tag match. I think we might do a tag match instead. So Jelly Roll, Randy Orton, Logan Paul, oh Jesus Christ, and Drew McIntyre. Do I like that? I don't know if I like that. Should I like that? What do y'all think? It seems harmless, but at the same time, I feel like Drew should be doing something better. It gives him something to do for SummerSlam, I guess. I guess it gives him something to do. Alright, so people are telling me it's a tag match. Really? It will be a tag match, so it is a tag match. Okay. Well, I'll take it. I'll take it. That feels right, honestly. It protects Jelly Roll. He's not a professional wrestler. All right. And people were telling me it was confirmed. Well, there you go. I came to the conclusion myself, and they already announced it. So there you go. SummerSlam, Jelly Roll, Randy Orton, Drew, and Logan Paul. Cool. Fine. Silly little tag match. Jelly Roll will get a big moment in there and probably win it for his team. Hey, it's good for publicity. Listen. Guys, celebrity matches are just what that is. A celebrity match. They can go on talk shows, they can get media attention, get a lot of views off of social media, and prime time to build more interest into SummerSlam, because SummerSlam is a 2-night event. Remember, SummerSlam is 2 nights this year. So, whatever you want to do to fill it up, if that's what you gotta do, I'm all for it. Let's talk about Naomi attacking Jade Cargill. Jade was sitting in that crowd, and then Naomi came up behind her and whooped her ass. The brawl that ensued was so awesome. See, I feel a lot more confident when Jade's working with Naomi, because Naomi is very good at highlighting her strengths. She covers all of her faults, right? Jade can let Naomi lead and she'll look good. Jade can let a Bianca Belair lead and she'll look good. When Jade's the one leading, because that's what's getting ready to happen. When they give Jade Cargill the top position, being the top women's champ, which I hope doesn't happen. I hope Naomi cashes in, by the way. But eventually, Jade's going to get that position. I need her to be ready for it, and right now she's not. So when they put her in the ring with Naomi, Naomi is the one leading her. And when Naomi's leading, it always looks great. So this brawl looked good. And then we got the announcement that Bianca Belair, who returned, is going to be the special guest referee. The special guest referee. So guess what that means? We're getting the heel turn. The moment they announced her as the special guest referee, I said it's about to go down. It's going down. I'm yelling timber. So yes, I do believe Bianca is going to screw Jade tomorrow and help Naomi win. Now, Jade will still go on to fight Tiffany Stratton for the championship at SummerSlam. I believe that. Now, here's my thing too. I thought about this for a minute. The obvious thing to expect is Bianca helping Naomi win, which I still think is what they're going to do. What if, rabbit hole time, what if Bianca attacks both of them? What if Bianca goes super heel? Like, she goes mega heel and does this thing where, yes, she helped Naomi attack Bianca, but she used Naomi. Right? I'm going deeper now. It's like she manipulated both of them, which pseudo turns Naomi babyface. She's still a villain because she still attacked Jade, but it makes her more sympathetic and makes Bianca the biggest fucking evil bitch that you've seen because she manipulated Naomi into attacking Jade and then turned on her. Hey, I'm cooking, am I? That sounds dope. They're not going to do it. They're going to reveal that Bianca was involved in Jade getting attacked, but they're just going to have Jade be a victim of a tag team. You know, a secret tag team. Like Bianca and Naomi got together behind her back and attacked her. But man, wouldn't that be dope? I'm just saying, wouldn't that be dope if Bianca became this evil mastermind that manipulated Naomi and then turned on her as well as Jade? Oh man. That would be dope. I'm just saying. Alright, let's talk about it. LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. Let me just tell you my thought process here. So I'm watching the match, right? Match is going along. It's going along swimmingly. Seth does the senton and then goes for the, of course, he's going for the moonsault splash. LA Knight rolls out of the way. Seth lands on his feet. Boom. Instantly goes down. And then he starts selling like a motherfucker. And I'm like, okay. Now, this is clearly an injury angle. But is it a real injury angle? Like, is it one of those things where he's selling it, overselling it on purpose because he actually is hurt and they're trying to build around it, call an audible to get him out of it, right? Or is this like a part of the story? Because once again, when Liv Morgan got hurt, going back just a few weeks ago, when Liv got injured with Kairi Sane, we saw her go down, boom, she goes to the outside. They take the camera off of her. We don't see her again. And then they call off the match. Right? They don't show you her getting carried off. And so I'm assuming that's it. Like, she's out. Because if they don't show her on camera, I'm thinking, well, she's injured. She's probably out for the rest of the year. They showed Seth the entire time. They never took the camera off of Seth. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, this is a work. Like he's placating an injury and throwing the match. And now you start to think, is he going to cash in? Or is he throwing the match on purpose so he can get out of this safely and then cash in later, take the focus off of him and make his cash in even more important, right? But no, he throws the match. He loses to LA Knight, by the way. He loses in like, I don't know, under 5 minutes. It was a quick match because he got hurt. BFT, 1, 2, 3. LA Knight wins, goes away. And then they show Seth getting carried off on social media. There's a video of it on social media. But in my head, I'm still thinking, is he really hurt? Because he looked so clean. Listen, go back and watch where he got hurt. It looked clean. I'm telling you, like, I think back to when he got hurt in, like, 2015, right? He was wrestling Kane on a house show. He goes for the sunset flip powerbomb. Excuse me. He goes for a sunset flip powerbomb. And then you see his leg buckle. You see his leg snap on the way down. You know instantly watching that, oh, he's out. He's done, right? Here, when you watch it, you're like, you're unsure. You're unsure if he's hurt. And so I start thinking, man, what if this is a work? What if this is an injury angle? I'm not saying that this isn't an angle, but after I find out that he didn't cash in, I'm thinking, nah, he might actually be hurt. Now, based off of what it looked like, if he tweaked his knee, again, he could be out for a couple of months. And he'll be back later on this year. Like around Survivor Series. If he broke something, like he broke his leg or broke his knee, he is going to be out for a long time. It's bad enough that he's missing SummerSlam, but if it's the worst case scenario, he's going to miss WrestleMania. I'll put it to you like this. If they make him vacate the Money in the Bank briefcase, he is gone. That's all the clue you need. That's all the information you need. He's out for a long ass time. And that throws all these storylines out of whack. But if they keep the briefcase on him, I think he'll be back before the end of the year. So let's see what they do let's see what they do with him when it comes to the briefcase. If they vacate the briefcase and they have to have someone else win it, then that's kind of your indication that he's out for a long time. A very long time. But we'll see. We're going to see. I don't know. I can't tell you right now how long he'll be out. I would like to think he's out for at least, man, how long would someone like that be out if you tweak your knee? He might be back earliest Survivor Series, but even then, I don't see him wrestling until like December. But if he ends up relinquishing that briefcase, yeah, he's done. And keep this in mind, Seth's getting up there, y'all. Seth, let me see how old Seth is, because isn't he like 39? How old is Seth Rollins? Yep, he's 39. He's 39 years old, so TikTok. Did they give you guys a time frame on when he'll be back or when he'll be out? Someone said he'll be out for 2 to 3 months. Yeah, that feels about right. Because that's what I think. Like, if he tweaked his knee, 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 months. He'll be back before Survivor Series. And then the program that he was going to have with Roman and or CM Punk, just push it off to Survivor Series, and then we'll just keep it rolling. You don't need to take the briefcase off of him. You can have Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed wrestle for him. No problem. But let's keep an eye on that Seth Rollins story. Okay, Goldberg. Let's get to it. Goldberg's retirement match versus Gunther. Nah. Now, I gotta gush a little bit. So, when Goldberg's music hit, and they did his entrance from the back, and you saw all the familiar faces walking with him, come on, man. That was beautiful. I'm so happy that they did that. What a way to send him off. That entrance alone was beautiful. And then he comes out with the pyro.
To me, he got hurt. BCLA Knight gave him a soft BFT.
Yeah. That was probably the best way you could have got him out of that without doing too much damage. But just to see him come out with those familiar faces, that was such such a nostalgia moment for me in particular. And then he walked out, got showered with the sparks and the pyro. And then he didn't do the I don't think he can move like that anymore. He can't smack his head. He did the punch kick, and that was it. He just kept walking. He didn't have time for all that BS. He did the typical punch kick after the pyro and then kept walking. And then got inside the ring. I thought this match was gonna suck. I said this is gonna be probably the weirdest 10-minute match with commercial breaks. No, matter of fact, nope. It was a pretty good match. Gunther chopping Goldberg. Goldberg no-selling the chops. And then laughing at it. Gunther selling his ass off to make Goldberg look good. And he did it in such a believable way. Gunther did it in such a believable way that it didn't hurt Gunther. It made Goldberg look really good. Gunther deserves all the credit in the world for managing to pull a good match out of Goldberg in his late 50s, almost 60. Goldberg's almost 60 years old. Guys, we're old as fuck. Goldberg's almost 60. We are old. But no, he pulled a good match out of him. That was a great way to send him off. And I was worried because I'm like, why are you going to put Goldberg in a world title match on his last match? He's going to lose that match. Why do you want Goldberg to lose in his final match? But I'm happy to say it turned out really well. He looked good in defeat. Goldberg looked good in defeat. He sold like a pro when Gunther went after his leg. Goldberg sold that shit, hobbled around on it, and made it look believable. Made it look so believable that he could have actually beat Gunther when he hit that spear, hit the jackhammer, and, Goldberg sold the leg when he hit the jackhammer. And I'm like, look at this psychology on his part. Goldberg, y'all gotta stop hating on Goldberg. He's a good in-ring performer. He is. Anyways, the referee comes in, but he pins Gunther too late, so guess what? Gunther hooks in the sleeper, Goldberg passes out, and that's it. And Atlanta was all over this match. Atlanta, Georgia was way invested, and when Goldberg lost, it was dead silent. The air left the building when Gunther made Goldberg pass out, because everybody wanted Goldberg to win. For a solid 5 minutes, I was like, maybe Goldberg is gonna win. And then Gunther hooked in the sleeper, and I went, never mind. Never mind. No, he's not. And so Goldberg ends up losing. He put over Gunther on his way out. Traditional way of putting over the young talent. You love to see it, man. I'm happy he did that. I'm happy Goldberg put over Gunther on his way out. Gunther looks stronger as a result. Gunther, when it's all said and done, Gunther better go into the Hall of Fame. He's already a first ballot Hall of Famer to me. He's doing great work. But Gunther wins the match. Goldberg goes out on his feet, ends up having a Hall of Fame speech, retirement speech. He already has Hall of Fame speech. He ends up having a retirement speech that got cut off. And I hate the fact that it got cut off. Again, I say, why couldn't you play the full version at least on Peacock? I get NBC. Peacock should have had the full version. Whatever, though. That's it for Goldberg. He got what he wanted. He had his last match. Now he can actually go home. You're 58 years old, Goldberg. You're not getting a better match than that. I'm being real with you. Goldberg, you are not getting a better match than that. Call it a day. Call it a day. So, there you go. That is my thoughts on Saturday night's main event. Let me take a beat before we get into AEW. I do want to say this as well, because I'm seeing a lot of people on social media talk about AEW versus WWE. If I'm gonna be honest with both of you, if I'm gonna be honest, I personally thought both shows did their job. Both shows did their job for me in particular, because I think, and this is just how I feel. I think even though Saturday Night's main event wasn't as like wrestling heavy and didn't have a lot of classic matches, although All In didn't have a classic match either. Storyline wise, a lot happened, and I do appreciate the stuff that they did, and so, you know, I thought overall both shows did their jobs, and I'm not going to be that guy that's like, this show is better than that. Now, if you prefer one show over the other, go for it. But I'm not here to knock either show. I thought both shows did their job. So let me go ahead and get back to my discussion about All In, now that we're here. So let's get to it. All In, Texas. First off, congratulations. Congratulations to AEW for selling 25,000 tickets. That is the most tickets they've sold for an event so far in America. They have eclipsed their Arthur Ashe Stadium 2021 sale. So before this, that was the most they've had in one building. Over 20,000 in Arthur Ashe Stadium. They really sold that out in minutes. And I'm serious. That was the top. That was the top. That was peak. This topped that. Although it wasn't a sellout, because the building they were in, Globe Life Field, excuse me. I was going to say Globe Life Stadium. No. Globe Life Field seats 40 or so thousand. 40,000. I'll be safe and say 40,000. And they only sold 25K. Hey, that's still a lot of people. No, they didn't sell out, but 25,000. Look, I'll give it to them. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Name me another company that can do that. Name me another wrestling promotion that can do that. In the States. Don't worry, I'll wait. You can't. So, yes, I think AEW has its flaws. As a weekly show, it's getting better, but it's not what it can be, what it should be, what it used to be. But give them credit when they do stuff like this, because that's the only way we're going to see true improvement, right? So 25,000 is dope. And they deserve a lot of credit for selling that amount here in the States, especially here in the States. So I'm going to run through some of these matches, because quite frankly, I feel like some of these matches could have honestly been on Dynamite or Collision. But that's just me. Now, AEW Trios Championship. Joe and the Ops retain. The Death Riders and Gabe Kidd did not retain, did not get the belts back. We did not see Hook. I was hoping we would see Hook. In my predictions, I predicted that Hook would interfere and cost the Ops. Maybe they'll do something with Hook and the Ops in the upcoming weeks or going into All In. We'll figure that out. But yeah, that was interesting. No Hook. Men's Casino Gauntlet. Now look, I'm all for giving people time to shine. You gotta have people on the show. This match went way too goddamn long. Like, 15 minutes in, I'm like, wrap it up. And then it kept going. Because we gotta have everybody on the show. Like, when Max Caster came out, I was like, okay. Yo, what? If you don't got nobody else, if we're not gonna get a Keith Lee or a Darby Allin, wrap this up. As soon as I saw Max Caster, I said, ain't nobody else coming out. Wrap this up. Wrap it up. MJF does end up winning. And that was a spoiler for me. When MJF won, I said, oh, alright. So I guess Hangman Page is winning the championship. Because you're not going to have a heel challenge a heel for the world title. So if, like, Darby Allin did come back and win this match, that would have been the indication that Jon Moxley was going to win, and then Darby would cash in on him. But MJF won, so that was all the proof I needed that that Hangman Page was going to win the world title. Do I think MJF will cash in successfully? I think he has to. I think the storyline with the Hurt Syndicate is basically a guarantee that MJF is getting that world title back, as he should. And he better. I would be very disappointed if he didn't. Now, that's just my personal opinion. But, yeah, I thought the match went way too long. And a lot of the people that were in the match, I usually see all the time. Like, Ricochet was in the match. Great, I'm happy Ricochet was on the show. I wish Ricochet was in the TNT title match. Again, I love that Dustin won, and I'm glad that Dustin's getting his run, but why the fuck would you put Sammy Guevara in that match and not Ricochet? Like, which commentator said that Ricochet was in the TNT title match? Was that Nigel McGuinness? Man, I got so excited when he said that. I'm like, really? But no, he wasn't. That match went over 30 minutes long. It should have been 15 minutes, and then get the hell out of there. All right, don't make a match that long ever again, please. Because that was a buzz killer for me. It was still good, but it was a buzz killer. Speaking of buzz kill. Oh my God, this hurt. This hurt. So, Adam Cole apparently got injured sometime on Collision this past week, or in a match on Collision some time ago. And we had the announcement on the kickoff, 0 hour, pre-show. When they made the announcement, they didn't announce his injury. But as soon as they said he's dropping the TNT title, in my head I went, okay, this might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Because Tony can only use you to a certain point. If he gives you his title and you get hurt, I think that might be it. So I was already kind of worried for Adam Cole, right? I'm like, crap, he got hurt again. Damn it, you just got back from an ankle injury, bro. Like, you keep getting hurt. Adam can't stay healthy. And if I'm Tony Khan, I'm like, hey, man, I don't know if I can keep booking you, right? It was a lot worse than we thought, because he came out and he said, listen, I'm dealing with some serious health issues, and this might be the last time you see me inside a wrestling ring. And if it is, thank you for all the years. I said, oh, man, this is really bad. So I'm hearing it's like a Kenny Omega situation. Like when Kenny had the diverticulitis, we were certain we might not ever see him again. We were scared that Kenny was done. Done. Now, he would, of course, come back. Thank God. Thank heavens. But it wasn't guaranteed. Kenny was out for over a year. We thought he was never going to wrestle again. That's how bad it got for Kenny Omega. Adam Cole might be in the same belt, man. We don't know. He might be able to come back, but they're saying, like, whatever issue it is, he won't reveal what issue he's dealing with, but they're saying he could be done for good. So let's hope and pray that it doesn't get that bad, because he deserves to be able to call his own retirement. Like Adam Copeland, you know what I mean? He should be able to retire on his own. That's what I'm hoping for Adam Cole. That's what I'm hoping. So, speed recovery to Adam Cole. That does suck. I hate that he got hurt. But this fatal 4-way, I'm not even going to talk about the match. The match was the match. I'm not even going to sit here and pretend that it was like a 5-star classic. It was a match. Felt like a Dynamite match. But to my surprise, they gave the TNT Championship to Dustin Rhodes. They gave the TNT title to Dustin Rhodes. The smile on my face when Dustin won the match. I was like, he won. Holy shit, Goldust won a championship. In Texas, by the way, where he was born. I was happy. I'm happy Tony Khan did this. No, he's not going to hold the belt forever. Yes, Kyle Fletcher will probably win it at All Out. if not sooner. But he gave him this moment, and that's what matters. I'm glad he got this moment. He deserves to at least have one championship under his name when it comes to AEW. That's so cool. I felt that. I felt that win. Now, let's talk about this tag team match. Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay, and the Young Bucks. Why the hell was the Young Bucks entrance that long? Again, think about this for a minute. This show went 6 hours, 8 hours if you include the pre-show. Part of the reason why it went too long were these entrances. Now, Ospreay got his own entrance. Swerve got his entrance. Those were fine. JoJo, by the way, JoJo Offerman, who is the wife of the late, great Bray Wyatt, was there to sing Ain't Nobody Loves Me Better. Because that was Swerve's original theme. He came out to that in the indie circuit. So I love that. That was dope. But she sung the hell out of that too. She got a voice on her. She looks good, by the way. She looks incredible. The Young Bucks, they had themselves an Undertaker entrance. In all the worst ways. It's like, the match was long enough. Their entrance was almost as long as the match. It felt like it took forever for them to get to the goddamn ring. Even I was like, bro, why are we doing this? Like, I get that they're heels. I get that they're doing it for the heat, but there is such a thing as go away heat. This had go away heat. It was that bad for me. It was like, all right, if y'all don't start this fucking match, if y'all don't get off that goddamn boat and start this goddamn fucking match, I'm so happy that they lost. Look, in my prediction, I was thinking Swerve and Will lose, and then they hold them off from getting world title matches until a year from now. Maybe Swerve turns heel, Will Ospreay wins the world title next year in Wembley, which he'll probably still do anyways. And then we give the heat to the Young Bucks, and then Swerve attacks Hangman Page in the main event. That's what I was thinking. This match, first off, fantastic match. Swerve and Will make a great team, by the way. Of course they do. They used to be tag team partners. When the Young Bucks lost, I don't know what it was, but I felt relieved. I felt relieved. Like, oh, thank God. No more of this EVP storyline. They get to go back to just being the Young Bucks, which I'm actually looking forward to. They get to go back to just being the Young Bucks with their old theme song. Boom, 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 boom. When was the last time we heard that? It's been a minute. That's a banger theme song. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, they lost. So that ends the EVP takeover storyline. I swear to God, there was a side of me that was like, please don't let Jack Perry come out. He didn't, thank God. So there you go, man. Like, Swerve and Hangman Page, they're getting happy endings here. Both of them. Both of them are getting happy endings. I like it. We'll see what they do with Swerve and Will Ospreay after this. I'm suspecting we're going to move on to Hangman Page and MJF. I don't know what the fuck Swerve and Will are going to do. Are they going to stay a tag team? Are we going to do the Hurt Syndicate versus Swerve and Will? Please do that. That sounds dope. Can we do that? Probably not. Women's Casino Gauntlet match. The winner gets a shot at the women's world title. Now, can I talk about Alyx Windsor? Alyx Windsor, who is the wife of Willard Ospreay, Will Ospreay. First off, I didn't know that until I did my research, but she's fucking fantastic. She's amazing. The way she was moving inside that ring, I was like, oh my God. Give her all the belts. Yeah, everything they do with Mercedes Moné, give it to her. No, like, she impressed the hell out of me. She was so goddamn good inside the ring. And apparently she's all in. She's wrestling now with the company. Dope. Sweet. Put her on my TV set. All the goddamn. I will watch I'll even watch Collision. I'll watch Collision. I swear to God. If Alyx Win starts having a match on Collision, I'll watch it. I won't review it, but I'll watch it. I want to watch her wrestle. She looks so goddamn good inside the ring. Will knows how to pick them. This match was fun, though. See, this felt a lot better than the men's. First off, it didn't go long at all. It was like, 12 minutes? Felt like 5. Because it was fun. Willow Nightingale, I love Willow. Willow, Chris Stat. Megan Bain looked good, too. Megan looked really good in this match. And I'm not just talking about inside the ring. You know what I mean? Sorry. Athena winning made me happy. Like, I beamed with joy when Athena hit her old face and pinned Mina Shirakawa. I said, finally, make that a finally, Athena has come to the main roster. Because that did it. That settled it. Athena winning the contract essentially said, well, I guess she's on the main roster now. Why go back to Ring of Honor? Thank God. Vacate that Ring of Honor championship. Vacate the Ring of Honor championship, please. Vacate it. Vacate it. Why do you still have it? Like, real talk, why? Why does she still have it? Vacate the goddamn championship. No one gives a fuck about that Ring of Honor title. Or give it to somebody that no one gives a fuck about. But yeah, Athena winning was one of the best parts of the entire show. That made the $50 alone worth it. I didn't care after that. I was like, you know what? This made the $50 worth it. It made the $50 worth it to me. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. All right. So I'm gonna skip over this tag team match. I don't. Look, the Hurt Syndicate, Kevin Knight, Speedball Mike Bailey, Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, Patriarchy. The match itself was good. It was good. Nice, fun spots. I'm not even gonna hate on it. I didn't care. The Hurt Syndicate wins. That's all I cared about. Moving on. So when the Hurt Syndicate won, and we saw Nick Wayne and Christian Cage get confronted by FTR, I said to myself, uh-oh, wait a minute. Are they going to attack Christian Cage? Is this when we do it? I had a feeling something was about to happen here. Nick Wayne turns on Christian Cage. The Patriarchy turns on Christian Cage, and they tease hitting him with the concerto. As soon as they went for the concerto, I said, where is he? Where is Adam Copeland? And next thing you know, you think you know me. Dun, 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 dun. On this day, you know what I mean? Like, bro, that pop that he got, magical. Great pop. Copeland hits the ring, saves Christian, spears everybody. You get that one moment where Christian and Cope, or Copeland and Christian, Copeland and Christian, Copeland in the cage. Cage and Cope stare at each other, and the crowd, they're getting excited. You see the crowd around them get like they get amped. Like, oh my God, Edge and Christian, do the 5-second pose. They're not gonna do it, but Cope gets to the microphone. He looks at Christian and goes, "Go find yourself." So now we begin the redemption arc for Christian, and thus begins the reunion storyline. The reunion storyline is here. It's here. So when do they come back together? That is now the ultimate question. They're gonna do a reunion. They are coming back together. The only question is when. When? I think it happens at Forbidden Door. Well, because that's Toronto, right? Duh. But they could push it off. Like, they could really milk this until, honestly, Revolution next year. They could really milk this. To me, the latest Full Gear. Don't hold this off too long. They shouldn't have to wait till next year to come back together. Latest Full Gear. Earliest, fuck it, All Out. All Out. Make it happen at All Out in Toronto. That would be so goddamn dope. And then Christian and Edge and Christian, Cope and Christian can be together until Edge retires, until he wants to call it a day, and then that's it. Uh, he said that Christian and Christian Cage are separate entities in his head. It's a reunion. We'll let him tell you that. But I love that. See, when AEW does storytelling well, they're one of the best at it. It's compelling. And I like that. This was compelling to me. And I look forward to the storyline. So let's move on. AEW Women's World Championship. Timeless Toni Storm versus the CEO, Mercedes Moné. Now look. I know I went into this match saying the right choice is to put the belt on Mercedes Moné. I still feel like Mercedes Moné was the best choice. I think it would have been more compelling for Mercedes to win all the belts. And then you do this thing where she now has hit the top. It's time for the fall. Because you've already reached your peak. Where do you go from there? The fall from grace. And so I thought it would have made a lot more sense to give Mercedes the belt. Toni didn't need the win. She was always going to be good. Right? Win or lose. Their entrances, by the way, were dope. I love Toni Storm's entrance. I love her. She's fun. And this match was nuts. They beat the piss out of each other. Great match. Amazing. I am baffled that it took 5 Storm Zeros. 5 Storm Zeros to beat Mercedes Moné. Including one off the top rope. I was like, God damn. Okay. But anyways. I said to myself, after she kicked out of the 3 Storm Zeros back to back to back, I said, alright. Okay. If she don't win this match, you're gonna bury Toni. You know, at some point, after taking all those Storm Zeros, I'm like, all right, look, at this point, now she has to win. And by she, I mean Toni. Not Toni has to win. After those consecutive freaking Storm Zeros back to back to back, now I'm like, oh my God. You better not have Toni lose now. When Mercedes kicked out the first one, that was already good enough. That was fine. If she had hit a second one, okay. But the consecutive ones, and then she kicked out, I went, all right. All right, that's too much, even for me. But luckily, she hit her with the one off the top rope and she pinned her. I'm fine with this. This is fine. The match itself did a good job of protecting Mercedes enough to where she still feels legit. Right? And if they want to run it back, they could always run it back and then have her win it then. Have Mercedes win the world title then. Here, yeah. Toni looks legit and she's established as the top female wrestler in the company. After beating Mercedes, yeah, they've established her as like the top female wrestler. Which she should be. And when it's all said and done, top female wrestler of the year will be Toni Storm. Yes. Top female wrestler of the year in 2025 will be Toni Storm. As she should be. Maybe it will. Hell, you know what? It might be Mercedes. It might end up being Mercedes Moné. If she continues having matches like this, we'll have to see. But Toni's my top right now, of course. Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega. The Unified Championship. Continental and International Championship unification match. Was this as good as their matches in 2017, 2018? No. But it was still a fantastic match. It was very Americanized. You had interferences from the Don Callis family. You had a lot of selling on Omega's part. Okada doing a lot of heelish shit. It felt like a WWE, AEW American match. It wasn't the New Japan Pro Wrestling, strong style, clean, crisp, 60-minute draw, 2 out of 3 falls classic. It wasn't, and it wasn't going to be. Remember, those matches happened 8-7 years ago. These guys are older. Not saying they still can't have that quality of a match, but to expect it, come on. It was still an outstanding match. Come on now. The chemistry these two have is outstanding. It's undeniable, unspeakably amazing, incredible. I just kind of feel like we shouldn't get our expectations up. It's like, okay, prime example, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Now look, Nakamura and AJ Styles, when they first wrestled in New Japan Pro Wrestling, oh my god, that match was so goddamn good. That was such an awesome goddamn match. You have to understand why we were expecting that to be like the match of the year by WrestleMania 34. And it ended up sucking ass. Or being a complete afterthought. But that's not what this was. Omega and Okada wasn't that. It just wasn't as good as the other four. And that's fine. Yes. Is anybody going to bitch about it? Because it was still an awesome match. That's just me. But yes, Okada is now the Intercontinental. No, he's the AEW Unified Champion. He is the International and Continental Champ. So, what happens next? Let's have him fight Kazuchika. Kazuchika should end up fighting Konosuke Takeshita. I think Takeshita versus Okada is the match that we've been waiting for. No offense to Omega and Okada. Of course, that was always going to be an awesome match. And I can't even say it was match of the night because that main event was fucking amazing. But yeah, like Okada versus Takeshita is the next logical step. And he better lose to Takeshita. Takeshita better whoop his ass. Thank you. And I hope they turn Takeshita babyface. It's time to turn him babyface too. Now, let's talk about the main event really quickly. Heyman, Adam Page, Jon Moxley, Texas Deathmatch World Championship. This was brutal as fuck. It literally was their AEW Revolution match where they did the Texas Deathmatch in 2023. It literally was that. Just with interferences. Bar for bar, beat for beat, it was the exact same match. And Moxley is a sick bastard. They showed like a close-up of Heyman Page hard-weighing Moxley with the fork. He literally stabbed him. And I said, oh my god. He literally hard-weighed him with the fork. And Moxley hard-weighed Heyman with the barbed wire. It was real barbed wire. Holy fuck. Yeah, they literally were hard-weighing, busting each other open, and then broken glass over the mat. Oh Lord, the broken glass over the mat. The spiked bed. The spiked nails on a board. Of course, barbed wire tables. Oh, it was brutal. And I loved it. Oh, the spots they did was great. But you want to hear about the interferences. All right. So, you know the Death Riders are going to come out. You know Marisha Burr's going to be out there. And so, the first person to save him, of course, was Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay got his neck broken and carried off on a stretcher. Poor Will Ospreay. Him and Joe got stretchered off. Then we see Bryan Danielson. Well, first we see a video from Darby Allin. Darby Allin appearing. And then Bryan Danielson runs in with a mask and whips her ass, runs him off. Then Darby Allin falls from the Raptors. And I'm like, where's Sting? Sting didn't show up. Darby Allin fell from the Raptors, hits the coffin drop, and we don't see him again. That was it for Darby Allin. Then Swerve. Swerve came out with the chain. Because the Young Bucks tried to interfere and Swerve whipped their asses. And then the moment where Swerve hands Hangman Page the chain. And then you see him give him the nod of approval. That one moment was a beautiful way to wrap up a year's plus story with them. Because the storyline they have, I think, well, honestly, more than a year plus. I'm thinking like 2 years, almost 2 years. Almost 2 years, right? Man. Long-term story. That wrapped it up. That one moment was a great bow on top. And then I love that Hangman Page beat Jon Moxley the exact same way he beat him at Revolution. He hung him over the ropes with the chain. He hung him over the ropes the exact same way. And Moxley tapped out. Look here. Look here. As a fan, little things like that just makes me happy. It really makes me proud to be a fan. And it reminded me like why I became a fan of AEW to begin with. I loved it. And then the moment where Hangman Page opened the briefcase and you see him welling up, you see him tearing up because he's finally getting to hold the world title again that he hasn't held for 3 years. And we haven't seen for almost a year. It was in a briefcase. That whole thing was done so goddamn well. And here I am scared that MJF is going to cash in. He didn't. They let him have his moment. And then they ended it on a happy note. And I said, see, that's how it should be done. That's how it should be done. AEW, that felt like old school AEW. That made me very happy. As a fan of, as a fan of wrestling, I look for that kind of stuff, man. So, it made me proud. It made me proud. I truly, honestly believe that if AEW was looking to restore the feeling, we hear that too many times. If they were looking to restore the feeling, this is as close as it was ever going to get. This felt like OG AEW. When it was the AEW that I loved. And not the one that I hated for almost a year plus now. That was a great ending. Well worth the $50. And I'm happy to say I watched it. I got nothing bad to say. Other than it was too goddamn long. Tony! Quit making your shows 5+ hours. 6 hours is way too much. That is the only not. If this show would have ended around 5 p.m., 4 hours. 4 hours is fine for this show. I might be calling it a classic show, honestly. I might be calling it one of AEW's best shows ever. But I can't. I don't even think I can recommend it. Look, A- is me being generous, quite frankly. I probably should give it a B+. Because the show is too goddamn long. It's just way too long. Replay value, fuck all that. I'm not going back and watching all 6 hours of this. I'll go back and watch some matches, but I ain't watching all 6 hours. It's too goddamn long. But I loved it. I'm glad I spent the $50, and I hope AEW can capture this. Will they? Probably not. But I'm looking forward to Forbidden Door. I'm looking forward to All Out. I'm looking forward to Wrestle Dream, Full Gear. If we can get more shows like this, I'll happily keep giving you $50. But most importantly, we're done with the Death Riders. Hallelujah. That alone gets an A. A-. Hallelujah. The Death Riders are dead. Thank God. And there you go. That is my thoughts on Saturday night's main event. And that is my thoughts on AEW All In Texas. So now, you guys have the floor. Give me your scores. Give me your grades. How y'all feel about it? I'm almost going 2 hours here. Y'all stuck with me for 2 hours? Thank you. I appreciate that. For real, I genuinely appreciate you guys for making me a part of your day. And sticking with me as I talk about this stuff. You guys should know something. July 17th, this upcoming Thursday, is my birthday. It is my birthday. So, in case y'all wanna...
We aged 1 year for every hour of All In.
Goddamn, A&B Combos. By the way, A&B Combos, Wrestling Edition, the premier reaction channel here in the YouTube space. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, guys, I don't know. I just feel like these shows are just way too goddamn long. And you're not going to build your audience when your shows are 6-8 hours long. You're just not. If you have a show start at fucking 12 p.m. And then you go so long that the other company's show that's supposed to air in the evening, you end up still going over that, midway past that. That's too long. Absolutely not. So yeah, I agree. It's too long. But yeah, my birthday's on Thursday, July 17th. Just want to say that. Yes, the International Championship will be on the line tomorrow. It is not on the line tonight. Our good friend, our boy, Drew Usher, the Savior, did not make it because of that. But he will be here tomorrow. And he will have to defend the belt at SummerSlam if he ends up successfully defending it. Big shout out to Nickname Mai and of course The Fiend. Three Douglas made an appearance. And yes, we will be changing up to the title defenses after SummerSlam. So weekly, the International Championship will be defended on a weekly basis. And then Three Diggers will be defending his world title at every PLE. Same thing, y'all. Hey, if y'all come for the Kings, y'all best not miss. Both Three Diggers and Drew Usher do not play. So y'all best be ready. And thank you for the birthday wishes. Let me get your scores. So what did y'all think about both shows? Which one was your favorite show? Let me get your thoughts on what's going on here. The old Young Bucks theme was last played mid-2023. Really? That is true because they became the EVPs like, 2024? Because they took a break, right? In 2023. And then it came back 2024 different. I miss that theme. I'm glad Athena won. Me too. Athena winning made me so happy. I was surprised at how happy I was to see her win. I was like, oh my god. Thank heavens that she won. Thank the Lord. Thank God. Thank God that they won that. But yeah, I think it's probably going to compete against Toni Storm. That would be interesting. AEW Forbidden Door is next. Ospreay, if he ain't getting the AEW World Championship, he will be given the IWGP Global Championship by beating Gabe Kidd. Yeah, I think Will Ospreay will probably be going back and forth between here and Japan, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the reunion between Cope and Christian. Coping in the cage. I like the idea of coping in the cage. Can you speak Japanese? I cannot speak Japanese. Tonight I sleep on a bed of nails. I feel like that's a song that I should know. This is definitely the best pay-per-view this year for AEW. 100%. Like, it's not even close. Honestly, I think this might be the peak. I will be shocked if AEW has a better show than this. I think this is it. I don't think it's getting better than this. And that's fine. It's all in. It should be that way. AV Combo says, AEW pay-per-views always deliver, but we were all in on WWE. All shows get a collective 8. Alright. I like that. I appreciate that. Yo, A&B. Your audience tonight was dope. A&B had like 100, 200 people watching them. That's how it should be. Y'all best be respecting greatness. You heard me? You heard me. You heard me? Not you hear me, but you heard me. Oh, 100%. Like, I think A&B Combos is well deserving of all the love that they're getting Anytime I see them get like over 100 people, I get super excited. And I know B's gonna be like, well, they're not real. They think they're watching. They think they're watching the show. Here's the thing, like, I get that logic when you first start. A and B consistently had like 100 and 200. You guys are amazing. You're amazing. Look at my number. And I tell y'all, A and B combo's gonna surpass me. They're gonna surpass me. Watch it happen. Watch it happen. Help me get to 50K. Please help me get to 50K, by the way. OG Francis, to answer your question earlier, I've been watching you since mid-2021. I only recently subscribed to you last April because by that point, I was watching anything you upload. Oh, thank you. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I really liked SNME, but NXT Great American Bash is a low-key banger show of the weekend in my opinion. I'm telling you now, Sol Ruca is a star in line.
Oh, dude, I've already loved Sol Ruca before she was even being discussed. The first time I saw her hit that Soul Snatcher, I said, oh, nope. There you go. Big star coming. That Soul Snatcher that's one of those star-making moves. Sometimes, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, he had all the tools. He was great on the microphone. He was a great personality. But you know what brought people to the house? The Stunner. The Stunner was a household finishing move. Like the People's Elbow. People came to the arenas to see the Stunner. They came to see the People's Elbow. People are going to pay millions to come see the Soul Snatcher. They're going to pay millions to see her hit that Soul Snatcher. So yes, main event player for sure. Athena is still Ring of Honor Women's Champion, going on 946, but 900? She's almost to 1,000 days? Fuck yeah. Give her all the belts now. Give her all the belts. I want it. I want to see it. All right, y'all. I've been up here for 2 hours. This is a long stream. I don't want to pull an AEW and go 6 hours. So let me go ahead, cut off here. All right, you're gonna see me again tomorrow for Evolution, where the Super Chat International Championship will be on the line. So tune in for that. I'm gonna hit the hay. Thank you all so much for watching me. Do all the YouTube things, like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and Venmo. I love you all. And I'll catch you guys next time, right here, and Alyx's World. Tomorrow, Evolution. 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 And by the way, The Rock's theme song and Evolution, Triple H, Batista, Randy Orton, Ric Flair Evolution. Same beat, same chords. In case you didn't know, now you do. You're welcome. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Alyx, just Alyx, signing out right here in Alyx's World, a place that is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm out of here. Peace. When you're in my